Hello, brilliant minds! Welcome to BrainGlow, your ultimate hub for learning science in a fun, easy, and exam-friendly way. Here, we don't just memorize facts, we explore the story behind every concept and connect it to real life, research, and even clinical insights. Today, we're diving into an exciting journey, from food to energy, how your body turns glucose into power. Ever wondered how that simple spoonful of rice you eat fuels your brain, muscles, and every heartbeat? Or how your cells manage to produce energy billions of times a day, just so you can think, move, and grow? Well, we're going to uncover it all, from digestion, to glucose absorption, and finally to cellular respiration, in a way that's simple, story-driven, and packed with exam tips for NCERT, NEET, JEE, and CBSE student. Every bite of food is more than just taste, it's energy waiting to be unlocked. Imagine eating a spoonful of rice. In your mouth, salivary amylase starts cutting starch into smaller sugars. But digestion doesn't stop there. In the small intestine, enzymes like pancreatic amylase and maltase finish the breakdown, releasing free glucose molecules. Now glucose faces a challenge, crossing into your bloodstream. Here's where special transporters come in. SGLT1, sodium glucose linked transporter 1, acts like a gatekeeper that pulls glucose inside intestinal cells, but only if sodium comes along. Think of it as glucose hitchhiking with sodium. GLUT2, glucose transporter 2, once glucose is inside the intestinal cell, GLUT2 is like an exit door that lets it flow into the blood. GLUT4, glucose transporter 4, found in muscles and fat cells, this door opens only when insulin knocks. That's how glucose finally enters the tissues to be used for energy. Unique fact: humans cannot digest cellulose, even though it's made of glucose, because we lack cellulase enzymes. Cows and termites can, thanks to microbes. Exam questions. Which enzyme in saliva digests starch? Salivary amylase. Which glucose transporter is insulin dependent? GLUT4. Which organ secretes insulin? Pancreas, beta cells of islets of Langerhans. Once inside the cell, glucose enters the cytoplasm, where glycolysis begins. This ancient pathway splits glucose into two pyruvate molecules, releasing 2 ADP and 2 NADH. It's quick energy, like lighting a match. But glycolysis is not just a step in energy production, it's a survival mechanism. It works with or without oxygen. During a sprint, when oxygen is low, muscles switch to anaerobic respiration, producing lactic acid. That burning sensation? It's lactate telling you your cells are working overtime. Unique fact: glycolysis is over 3 billion years old, older than oxygen in Earth's atmosphere. Exam questions. 1. Where does glycolysis occur? Cytoplasm. 2. Net ADP gain from glycolysis? 2 ADP. 3. Which cells rely only on glycolysis? Red blood cells. 4. What is the anaerobic product of glycolysis in muscles? Lactate. Pyruvate now enters the mitochondria, where it transforms into acetyl-CoA, the golden ticket to the Krebs cycle. Picture this cycle like a Ferris wheel. Every turn produces NADH, FADH2, ADP, and CO2. This isn't just about energy. The cycle also provides building blocks for amino acids, fatty acids, and nucleotides. The real fireworks happen in the electron transport chain, ETC. Electrons from NADH and FADH2 travel through protein complexes like water flowing through turbines in a hydroelectric dam. This movement powers ADP synthase, which spins out nearly 30 ADP molecules per glucose. At the end, oxygen patiently waits, capturing electrons and protons to form water. Without oxygen, the entire system collapses in seconds. Unique facts. The mitochondrion is called the powerhouse of the cell. But did you know it also has its own DNA, inherited only from your mother? Cancer cells rely heavily on glycolysis even in oxygen presence, a phenomenon called the Warburg effect. Exam questions. 1. Where does Krebs cycle occur? Mitochondrial matrix. 2. How many ADP are produced from one glucose in aerobic respiration? 36 to 38 ADP. 3. What is the role of oxygen in respiration? Final electron acceptor forms water. 4. Which enzyme forms ADP in mitochondria? ADP synthase. 5. What is the link between glycolysis and Krebs cycle? Acetyl-CoA formation. Real-life applications and clinical insights. Your brain, just 2% of body weight, consumes 20% of total glucose. Red blood cells survive only on glycolysis because they lack mitochondria. During starvation, the liver converts fats into ketone bodies to fuel the brain. In diabetes, glucose stays trapped in blood because insulin cannot open GLUT4 gates effectively. High-yield exam questions. 1. Which cells lack mitochondria and depend only on glycolysis? RBCs. 2. Which organ produces ketone bodies during starvation? Liver. 3. What is the energy currency of the cell? ADP. 4. How many CO2 molecules are released in Krebs cycle per glucose? 4 CO2. 5. Why is oxygen essential for ETC? It acts as the terminal electron acceptor. And that's the incredible journey of glucose, from the food on your plate to the energy that powers every heartbeat, thought, and movement in your body. From digestion in your mouth and small intestine, to absorption through SGLT1 and GLUT2 transporters, to the powerhouse of cellular respiration inside mitochondria, your body is performing a complex, yet beautifully coordinated process every single second. Remember these key points. Glycolysis is ancient and universal. The Krebs cycle builds both energy and essential molecules, and the electron transport chain generates most of your ADP, with oxygen acting as the silent hero at the end. Your brain, muscles, and red blood cells all rely on this amazing system, sometimes in different ways, showing how adaptable and intelligent your cells really are. Science is not just about memorizing facts, it's about understanding the story of life at a molecular level. And that's what we do here at BrainGlow, bringing these stories to life, making learning simple, interesting, and exam-ready. So, if you enjoyed this journey, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to glow your brain with more science adventures. Keep exploring, keep questioning, and remember every bite you eat is fueling a universe of tiny power plants inside you.